In a world that rarely pauses, where every moment seems to propel us forward, there is a profound yet often overlooked truth. Sleep restores our humanity. It renews our souls, rejuvenates our minds, and most importantly, it rebuilds our emotional empathy, the capacity to truly feel and connect with the people around us. Today, we will journey through the transformative power of sleep, exploring how slumber can transform the way we perceive ourselves and those around us. Imagine, for a moment, the energy that surges within us after a well-rested night, like a silent, internal orchestra, striking harmonies of emotional clarity and understanding. This is not mere myth. Science reveals that the absence of sleep robs us not only of energy, but of something equally essential: the ability to empathize. Without sleep, the lens through which we perceive social cues becomes blurred, leaving us adrift with an uncertain sense of connection. Consider the world without sleep, where fatigue casts a pall over every interaction. In these moments, emotions flatten into monotony. A frown might be misinterpreted as indifference, a quiet comment as criticism. The subtle nuances that color our interactions vanish into a fog of fatigue. This is the state of emotional numbness, a place where even the simplest human connections can seem foreign. Yet, as night gives way to dawn, a miraculous process unfolds. Sleep, with its rhythmic cadence of restorative phases, gently washes away the residue of fatigue. As we slip into the embrace of restorative rest, our brains engage in an intricate dance, processing the day's events, segregating our emotions, and finally allowing clarity to seep in. In these quiet hours, deep within the chambers of our mind, sleep is hard at work, mending the delicate threads that bind us to our fellow human beings. In this state, the pathways of our emotions are recalibrated. What once felt discordant begins to harmonize. Imagine the transformation as a symphony tuning itself, every instrument finding its place, every note blooming into a melody of understanding. Sleep fuels a restoration of emotional nuance. It allows us to differentiate between a fleeting mood and a genuine cry for connection, enabling our brains to reforge the bonds of empathy that have frayed under the strain of relentless wakefulness. This renewed emotional awareness doesn't remain confined to our internal worlds alone. It blossoms outward, influencing our interactions and weaving us into a tapestry of genuine connection. When we are well rested, empathy flourishes. We become better partners, friends, co-workers, each role enriched by an intuitive understanding of the mortal struggles and joys of others. At its core, empathy is more than simply understanding another's pain. It is the bridge that connects isolated hearts toward a shared embrace of human experience. Through sleep, the body not only regenerates, but the mind too emerges, refreshed, ready to see the beauty and imperfections and the stories behind every glance. The dark corners of our interactions are illuminated by a clarity that only a nurtured heart can offer. This isn't just a tale of personal rejuvenation. It is a roadmap to social harmony, a community where individuals are allowed to rest, where perspective is restored, ultimately reaps the gift of true understanding. In the quiet hours behind closed eyes, the silent work of sleep mends not just our bodies, but the intricate web of our shared lives. When we awaken, the small kindnesses multiply, forging bonds that strengthen the social fabric of our everyday interactions. At times, you might find your empathic well running low, when exhaustion has left you feeling like a ghost drifting through life, unable to fully connect with the people around you. It is then that sleep becomes not just a rest, but a remedy, a potent and restorative act that allows the heart to rediscover its natural rhythm. Every deep, untroubled breath during these hours is a silent promise to start anew, to approach the day with a compassion that might have waned in the midst of fatigue. There is real magic in these transformations. When sleep restores our connection, it is as if the world sharpens back into focus. The misinterpretations that once clouded our relationships slowly fade as our minds clear, letting us see near and far the emotional landscapes of those around us. The small frustrations, born out of tired misunderstandings, are replaced with a gentle nod of recognition, a silent conversation of empathy that bridges the gap between loneliness and connection. This journey does not demand extraordinary measures. It is something inherent in every one of us, a natural rhythm that, when respected, allows our spirits to bloom. Taking that time to rest is not an indulgence, but an essential sustenance for the soul. When the body is allowed to find natural repose, the mind is freed from the haze that clouds compassion. Instead, it embraces a fresh perspective, a renewed outlook in which every interaction is weighted, not by fatigue, but by a genuine, refined sensitivity to the feelings of others. In these quiet moments, sleep gently whispers to every part of our existence. Be still, take a breath, and remember the beauty of connection. It is the silent undercurrent that enables us to perceive joys and pains with balanced sensitivity. As you navigate through your day, remember that every moment of rest is a step toward rebuilding your inner reservoir of empathy. Your ability to see and touch the core of another's being with kindness. The stage of life is vast, and each encounter, each fleeting smile or tearful moment is part of a grand narrative where every soul plays a part. When fatigue dulls that spark, the dialogue between hearts becomes staccato, disjointed and rushed. Yet with sleep, the intricate cadence of genuine connection is revived, allowing every note of our interaction to play with the full spectrum of vibrant emotion. What was once lost in the shuffle of exhaustion is meticulously pieced back together, moment by moment, care by care. The journey from emotional numbness to empathetic vibrancy is not instantaneous, nor is it without its trials. Yet, the transformative power of sleep offers a hope that is both accessible and profound. By simply embracing the natural cycles of rest, we open ourselves to an enriched existence where every interaction is laced with understanding, and every connection is a reflection of our innate ability to empathize. In this delicate interplay of sleep and consciousness, every individual finds a chance to mend the invisible fractures created by fatigue. Rest becomes a bridge, a connection between the isolated island of our own thoughts and the bustling mainland of shared human experience. With each hour of sleep, the fog of tiredness lifts, clarity emerges, and with it, the capacity to truly listen, to genuinely understand, and to compassionately engage with others. It is a mystery, yet a beautifully rational one. As sleep cradles us in its tender embrace, it heals not only the physical, but the emotional. The tired brain, left unchecked, surfaces only echoes of negative energy, often magnifying misunderstandings and clouding compassion. But when sleep comes, it recalibrates the mind to its natural state, where empathy reigns supreme and every heartbeat sings of interconnection. Consider the patience of nature. Day after day, night after night, the world steadily resets. Mountains remain through seasons, rivers persist despite storms, each element moving at its own natural rhythm. So too, do our minds need moments of natural repose to sustain the delicate balance of emotion and thought. Embracing sleep is to synchronize with the eternal rhythms of life, to step away from the frenzy and to cultivate a space where true emotional understanding can thrive. When you awaken refreshed, the day ahead is not merely a series of tasks to complete. It is a mosaic of potential interactions, each carrying the promise of empathy. The vibrant hues of understanding shine through, casting away shadows of misunderstanding. In every conversation, there is an opportunity to recognize not just the words spoken, but the feelings that ripple beneath their surface. Your renewed state of mind becomes a beacon, guiding your interactions toward warmth, tolerance, and genuine compassion. In a world often divided by noise and haste, sleep quietly assembles the bridges that link us together. It reminds us that human connection relies on more than just shared space. It is nurtured by the depth of our understanding, the clarity of our perceptions, and the warmth of our hearts. When we allow ourselves the gift of sleep, we invest in the future of these relationships, ensuring that our interactions are not marred by the misinterpretations of fatigue, but enriched by the clarity of reflection. Thus, as you stand at the threshold of a new day, remember the quiet revolution that unfolds in the spaces between dusk and dawn. Every slumber is a silent architect, rebuilding the foundations of empathy that fortify our connections. It is a ritual of renewal, an essential practice that elevates us from mere beings living side by side to souls intertwined on a shared journey of emotion and understanding. In this gentle fusion of science and soul, the message is clear: sleep builds empathy. It is a reminder that even in times of relentless activity, pausing to rest is not a retreat, but a forward step toward deeper, clearer connections. Embrace the night, for in its silent hours lies the promise of renewed understanding. Let every good night's rest be the soil in which the seeds of empathy take root, eventually blossoming into vast gardens of shared human spirit. In the quiet, remember, every moment of sleep is a gentle affirmation that you are not alone, that your heart can feel, and that with every sunrise, the world offers you a renewed lens of empathy, a gift that enriches every encounter, every smile, every shared word. So as you lay your head to rest tonight, know that you are laying the foundation for a tomorrow steeped in compassion and understanding. A tomorrow where every interaction is infused with the warmth of empathy, and where instead of feeling isolated, you rediscover that in every sleeping hour, the threads of connection are being tenderly mended. In the dance between night and day, let your sleep be the quiet guardian of your emotional self. Let it recast every shadow into soft light, every misunderstanding into a quietly resolved thought, and every lonely moment into the start of a more connected life. For in the realm of sleep, where dreams mingle with reality, the essence of who we are is renewed, ready, at last, to embrace the world with open hearts and clear minds. Cherish the night, treasure your dreams, and awaken with a heart open to the beautiful, intricate language of empathy.